Canadians been running the rap game? Half Jewish? That's why they mad. That's why they mad.
Say, I wouldn't have it any other way, man, because I truly don't know if I'd be here if I didn't have so much to potentially overcome, as some people may look at it. I mean, to me,
you don't look at it that way.
Yeah, I never looked at it as overcoming anything. I was just like, man, I just got to be a good rapper. But you know, to a lot of other people, they were like, wait, what? You're Canadian? You're Jewish? And you're half, you know, it's just like mind-blowing things to them.
It appears Drake hasn't quite grasped the lesson Kendrick Lamar aimed to impart in front of the entire world. Despite Kendrick's pointed critique, Drake continues to stir controversy, now claiming that Black Americans are resentful simply because a Jewish Canadian is leading the hip-hop scene. The audacity of this statement is astounding. Drake is seemingly embracing the colonizer label more than ever. Fans are digging up numerous instances where Drake has disrespected Black American culture in troubling ways. Accusations against Drake include mocking Black trauma, belittling and shading Black women, and associating with known racist figures. Now, in the midst of these controversies, Drake is suggesting that Black people's criticism stems from his biracial, Jewish, and Canadian background. However, fans have swiftly responded, arguing that the issue isn't about his racial or national identity. Instead, they assert that it revolves around Drake's exploitation of Black American culture for personal gain while showing little respect in return. So, what exactly is Drake's issue with Black America? Is he truly leaning into the colonizer label? Let's delve into this matter.
Well, there's Jewish, and you know we have great Jewish dinners like Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. First of all, I live in an all Jewish area, Forest Hill. Okay. I went to a predominantly Jewish school growing up.
Drake's involvement in Black American hip-hop has always been controversial. However, his ongoing feud with Kendrick Lamar has intensified the debate. Kendrick's diss tracks have made bold accusations, suggesting Drake shouldn't even be permitted to use the N-word and labeling him a colonizer. This has ignited a significant debate among fans, many of whom believe Kendrick's critique resonates because it underscores a pattern of Drake selectively adopting aspects of Black culture that enhance his image and career. It's worth noting that Kendrick isn't the first to call out Drake for apparently disrespecting Black American culture while benefiting from it. For years, there have been persistent rumors and accusations about Drake co-opting the work of Black rap artists, everything from their sound and flow to their accents, only to move on to the next project. Prominent figures like Earl Sweatshirt, Rick Ross, and Pusha T have weighed in, alleging that Drake has been a culture vulture for at least a decade. To compound matters, Drake has been caught red-handed appropriating flows from other artists, with one of the most notable cases involving the late XXXTentacion. This led to a highly publicized feud and wild claims about Drake's supposed connections to X's merchandise. XXXTentacion accused Drake of copying his flow from Look at Me for the track KMT on Drake's 2017 mixtape More Life. In February 2017, X expressed his disappointment to XXL magazine, stating that a shout-out from Drake could have significantly impacted his career, especially while he was facing serious legal issues. He could have reached out to me personally and spoken to me, and it definitely would have been more respectable, X said. But he dropped that preview and it sounded a bit like, look at me, and he could be a huge help in the situation to get me out of jail because I'm facing life. The situation escalated rapidly after XXXTentacion was released from jail, leading him to publicly criticize Drake and his OVO crew.
He was supposed to contact one of my managers, so he doesn't do it. That same week, bro. I go on to, well, I can't go on to it obviously because I'm locked up.
Yeah.
I'm on the securest phone, you feel me, for this shit.
So you in jail, he's supposed to contact your manager, and then what happened?
He dropped the fucking video of previewing that shit in Amsterdam with some nigga from the UK. You know what I'm saying? He dropped the video. I was talking to my girl at the time, not the same bitch that got me arrested, a different girl.
Okay.
I was talking to her at the time, and she was like, yo, listen to, no, actually, it was my dog, Chris. I was on the phone with my dog, Chris. He was like, yo, you gotta listen to this shit. This Drake a That's exactly what he said. Like, this Drake a you gotta listen to this shit. So he plays this. I hear, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what the f? As soon as it started, like, I knew he was getting that. And the funny thing is, we didn't discover it. Like you said, the fans, because they're so cold, like, it's like, I got a piece of the internet, you feel me?
So they were saying that Drake was biting your style. That's what the fans were saying.
Yeah. Flow, hell yeah, bro. You could take his verse, like they did a mashup. They put his verse on my song, and the cadence is literally just at the same tempo. It's not offbeat at all. And then if you listen to my song and then you listen to the bro song, like you could, bro, we all not dumb. Yeah, go.
Isn't the mashup on your Instagram page?
No,
that's not. Okay, where is it? Where can we find this?
You can just look up XXXTentacion Drake mashup.
Tentacion Drake.
Or just look up Drake mashup or something.
So now, where do you guys stand? Like, what's good now?
I still think Drake fuck. As a no, I'm blow raw. I still think Drake fuck. Like, I think he's not a man. I think that's a move. Especially when I was in jail facing life, bro. You know what I'm saying? If Drake would have came to my barn hearing, you know what I'm saying, that would have made my if he would have showed that he's a hospitable person and that he's really in it for the culture, rather than being taking my running off with it and then putting it on his album, then he would have got my kudos, he would have got my respect. I would have let him hop on the remix, take 100% royalty rate. I would have done it. Because I know I can maintain, you know what I'm saying, and I would have appreciated him for being a real nigga, but Drake not a real nigga.
Despite his apparent move to take the high road, many fans suspect that Drake might have threatened X behind the scenes. In February 2018, just 4 months before his tragic death, X posted on his Instagram story, "If anyone tries to kill me, it was Drake. I'm snitching right now." X later claimed that his account was hacked. But during XXXTentacion's trial, one of the defense attorneys brought up X's Instagram story about Drake, suggesting that authorities should have investigated Drake's potential connection to X's death.
Before X died, he said, "If anybody kills me, it's Drake." And do you think that for one moment, here today, days after the event, he's killed by 2 masked men, right? He came out on social media and said, "Guys, before he dies, if anybody kills me, it's Drake." Do you think in that time span that they went and they addressed him, they talked to him? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked, Drake or anybody like that? No.
Fans of X also believe that Drake dropped hints about his involvement in X's demise in his music. For example, in the song I'm Upset, released just a month before X's death, Drake appears to reference the plot against X with the line, "X, SMS, XXX, that's the only time I shoot below the neck." After X passed away, Drake released Mob Ties, featuring the lyrics, "Louis bags in exchange for body bags," which many interpreted as a direct nod to X's murder, given that the assailant stole an LV bag containing cash from X. Drake didn't stop there. On his 2023 joint album with 21 Savage, Her Loss, Drake seemingly made another reference to his feud with XXXTentacion on the track On BS. He raps, "Maybe I should break that 20, do a 10. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again." The use of the number 10, which is the Roman numeral X repeated 3 times, might be a subtle reference to XXXTentacion, especially since Drake follows up with a line about someone who dissed him on Instagram Live no longer being alive. Moving on to another controversial moment, let's revisit when Drake posed for photos in blackface. He later claimed that the photos, taken by David Lyas in 2007, were intended to highlight the mistreatment of black actors. However, this explanation did little to quell the backlash, especially when Pusha T used the blackface image as cover art for his diss track, The Story of Adidon. Drake's justification, that the photos were meant to address how African Americans were misrepresented in entertainment, did not soothe the public's ire. Despite this, Drake continued to use slavery as a punchline in his music. On the track, Slime You Out, from his 2023 album For All the Dogs, he raps, "Whipped and chained you like American slaves," in the context of buying cars and jewelry for women. On his Kendrick Lamar diss track, Family Matters, Drake uses a similar line, "You always rappin' like you about to get the slaves free." This fixation with slavery as a punchline is deeply troubling. It's not only distasteful, but also offensive, especially when considering Drake's apparent lack of sensitivity towards black trauma. As one fan pointed out, if Kendrick Lamar had joked about Holocaust survivors' tattoo numbers, it would be universally condemned. Yet, Drake seems to trivialize black pain and historical suffering. Additionally, fans have noticed that Drake has been cozying up to controversial figures known for their racist behavior. For instance, country star Morgan Wallen, who was caught on video using the N-word, and the notorious Hells Angels biker gang. Recently, during during a music festival in Vancouver, Rick Ross reportedly clashed with Drake's affiliates. There are rumors that the attackers were members of the Hells Angels, a gang with a notorious history of racial violence. Drake has had connections with the Hells Angels for years, even featuring them in his music videos. Furthermore, there's been controversy surrounding Andrew Curnew, a Canadian millionaire with alleged links to the Hells Angels. Curnew, known for hosting extravagant parties and having a questionable criminal record, is said to have close ties with the gang. Drake's association with Curnew and his involvement with the Hells Angels have raised serious concerns. To top it all off, there's a video circulating where a DJ in Dubai criticizes Kendrick Lamar and mocks Black American rappers, suggesting that Drake is the real force uniting the West Coast.
A Canadian's been running the rap game, half Jewish? That's why they mad. That's why they mad.
Drake's apparent endorsement of this video, along with his history of problematic behavior, has led fans to accuse him of lacking respect for the culture and people who have supported him. As the debate over whether Drake is a colonizer continues, fans argue that he's deflecting blame rather than acknowledging Kendrick Lamar's superior lyricism and authenticity. One fan summed it up saying, "Drake is trying to find excuses instead of accepting that Kendrick is simply a better artist. Just like a colonizer, he's blaming the very people who helped him succeed." So, what's your take on this entire debate? Do you believe Drake's issues with Black America are rooted in his race and nationality? Or is it more about his exploitation of Black culture? Share your thoughts in the comments below and stick around for our next video.